It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go. Monday show, October 2nd, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com if you're watching live. However you are watching, we say hello, everybody. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, my friend. Good afternoon, everybody in attendance. Fun weekend and terrible picks for me in the NFL.
Man, you got to take it on the chin, Bray.
You know what? Sometimes you have a bad week. This is my bad week. Tom Mazaway, how you doing over there, buddy?
I'm good, man. A great weekend for me. I didn't do anything.
Good for you.
Yep.
You deserve that.
I didn't do
Tom
anything.
Sometimes.
I watched football on Saturday, and I really didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
Until the Michigan game came on, then okay. But by the time the first half's over, that game's over. I just chilled. Went to church on Saturday night, and so I didn't have to go on Sunday.
There you go.
And Sunday, woke up at my leisure. My wife decides to go to the beach with her friend.
The beach?
Yeah, she went up to Port Huron.
Jeez.
85-degree beach
Unbelievable.
day. And
I
got to stay home and watch two damn good games. I kind of got locked in on the Eagles-Washington game more than the Buffalo game, because that Buffalo game, you could just tell the Bills were going to just dominate that game. But great weekend. Jets, all right. Whatever.
Hey, Zach Wilson gave it a death. For Ryan Ermanni, I got to tell you, you're right about the Buffalo Bills, you're right about the Dolphins, and you're right about Tua versus certain other players. So I will say, you were right, I was wrong.
Thank you very much about that, Braylon. Look, anybody, and I was more invested in the Eagles-Washington game too than the Bills in Miami yesterday because, one, it was a blowout.
Yeah.
I mean, 31-17, then they come out 38.
Right, it was over.
It was over. But you can't score. That was the absolute lock of the week.
Yeah.
The Bills over the Dolphins, because you can't score 70 one week, and then the very next week come out and be an underdog.
Plus the Bills have dominated that series. What's his name? Only lost one time to Miami.
9-1, I think, or something like that. Something crazy. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Josh Allen.
Down theory, and for them to be underdogs after dropping 70.
It just told the story. That's why you have to play numbers and not teams.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes any difference
sense
to you. And like Dan Orlovsky said earlier today, he said, and we'll talk about NFL. We'll get into all the games that happened yesterday. But like Dan Orlovsky said, he said, look, I've been the biggest proponent of Tua. I love Tua, Team Tua. But there is something different about Josh Allen, and there is something different about Patrick Mahomes. Those two guys and everybody else right now.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And one thing, too, they're running the football. They're limiting their mistakes. They're allowing him to relax, be in the pocket. They protect him a little bit. You run the football with Cook. Cook had 100 yards the game before, the 100 yards the game before that. You're running the ground, you keep him in the pocket. So he's just elite as an athlete, too. Like when you keep him in space and then you let him get out there sometimes, he does some stuff that I think he's more athletic than the guys he's playing against.
No doubt about it, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, it'd be great if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel. Over 51,000 subscribers on this platform. And hit the like button as well. It helps YouTube push our content out to more people. So we'd appreciate that if you are watching on YouTube. Just quickly, because I wasn't here on Friday, and I really apologize for that. I had a funeral to attend.
No apologies,
and,
brother.
it was great to see T-Foss here. That was awesome. But that was, just quickly on that, because I know you guys have talked about it already, the most dominating Lions performance I have seen on the road. I don't want to say it in my lifetime.
Best ever at Lambeau.
But in my lifetime. I mean, that was as incredible a performance as you can see. The game was never in question. Sure, Green Bay made a little bit of a run there in the third quarter. They were gonna punch. They were gonna punch back
because
a little bit.
Because of illegal play.
Exactly, but they were gonna punch back a little bit. They did, and the Lions just said no. That's gonna stop right now, and then punched them back. So really awesome stuff. I'm so excited about this football team. I think the country is excited about this team. Even Kirk Herbstreit, right? I mean, Herbie flies in overnight for game day, and he gets off the plane and he wakes up in the morning and he says, well, my first thought is how good the Detroit Lions are, Bray.
Wow. Yeah, 100%. One of the big things that we talked about before the game, Ryan, is this is a better team. This is a different team, and I didn't believe in that Green Bay team. And this is a team that we now believe to be one of the best teams in the league. If you're going to be that team, then you got to beat up on bad teams. And just in my estimation, I don't like Jordan Love, and I didn't like the left side of the line for them. I said this is a game that this D-line can dominate. And they went and they did what they're supposed to do. They're now tops in the division. This is now their division. They played like it. Everybody came, and they put on a show. Defensive clinic.
Can I ask you guys where you're at, both you guys, Bray and Maz?
Right.
So before the season started, I said one of the many crazy things that I've said I said this isn't going to be a race for the division. The Lions are going to win it by 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
You did.
Cap or no cap?
No,
right? Don't you get now? Granted, injuries. I don't even want to go there, but injuries can happen. But if all things kind of stay the way they are right now, don't you think the Lions are 3 games better at least than Green Bay, the Vikings, and the Bears?
It's not even close. Like they're 13. They're a 12 to 13 win team right now. The way they're playing, and guess what? Free J-Mo is alive. Jameson's now on the team. You look at we're getting it going at the right time. The offensive line with Taylor Decker in there was outstanding. David Montgomery, 3 touchdowns. You're figuring out how to work Jahmyr Gibbs in there. You didn't play Amon-Ra St. Brown a lot because they kind of rested him because they didn't need to. They're hitting their stride at the right time. And it's also, look, they got the Bucks coming. That's another win. The Panthers coming. That's another win. This team's rolling.
Bucks don't see I know they're gonna.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna beat the Bucks. I feel confident that they're gonna beat the Bucks.
Tampa is home that game.
But how about the 3-1 Tampa Bay Bucks? They're playing for that guy.
They are.
Tom Mazaway, I apologize. That shit, your guy Baker was showing up.
Hey, he's playing good. He had one bad game
Yeah.
against a very good team on Monday Night Football against the Eagles. Other than that, he's beaten the teams that he should beat. He should not beat the Lions. The Lions should get after those guys. But we got the Panthers first before we do anything. We got them coming in this week. Lions are 7.5-point favorite in that game. And, man, Rye, you missed the big news. 3:30 hits on Friday, and Jameson Williams is free. We politicked for it, and the NFL finally tweaked the rules properly.
There's no doubt about that. And look, I don't know if we have that or not, what the new rules are. If you are just tuning in, we'll get those new rules for you. Do we have those, JB? Okay, yeah, we have those because I don't have them off the top of my head.
Of course.
But, of course, thanks for the printout there, Tom.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Appreciate it. But they did take the suspension down for Jameson Williams from 68 games to 4 games. And whether he plays tonight or not, or this week or not, is still in question, I think. Dan Campbell did talk about that today. I think he'll play.
Yeah.
But one of the things he says, he's not playing 60 plays.
Yeah.
If he plays. They got to get him in and see where he's at because they haven't practiced yet today. At the time of the press conference for Dan Campbell, you'll hear some of that audio coming up in the next segment. But at the time that Dan Campbell speaks to the media, they haven't seen Jameson Williams on the field yet. There's no practice that Dan Campbell is responding to. So they don't even really know what he looks like right now.
Yeah, it's very true because he was working out by himself. He wasn't working out with the team. Now he's back with the team in LC. Look, Jameson adds a different dimension. And Ryan, the cool thing about it is you got other guys that can play right now. So you don't need him to be at his 100% full right now. You give him a couple plays, pitch count him. 20 plays in game 1, 25 plays in game 2, and see where he's at as a player and see how you can fit him into the system. Because Ben Johnson is starting to cook. You get Dave Montgomery back. You see he's the thunder. To Jahmyr Gibbs is lightning. You got Sam Laporta working for you. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Josh Reynolds has become the third down wide receiver. I mean, won 11 of his 10 catches, or his 10 of his 11 catches, all first down. So he's a man, and then let him take off when he played the Ravens.
Hey, JB, it's the next slide, the one from Adam Schefter that has the new rules about it. Basically, you don't bet on NFL football. But if you do, and you're not in Lions or NFL team, if you're not on camp or if you're not on site, those are the rules that apply now.
All right, here you go. So betting on non-NFL sports from the workplace will now lead to a 2-game suspension. Second for first violation.
So that means they owe J-Mo 2 games pay.
Will they pay him?
Of
No.
course.
I don't think they'll pay him.
Nah. Because this is
it retro?
It's after the fact.
Right.
It's after the fact. They're not going to do that. Ryan, we talked about this a little bit. Doesn't this seem kind of different space for the Detroit Lions? And what I mean by that is stuff like this doesn't go the Detroit Lions way. The fact that they free Jameson, the Lions are 3-1. It seemed like the NFL threw the Lions a bone and said, you know what? Let's drop this now and get them Jameson back, because the Lions are now becoming one of the teams in the NFL.
Yeah, and look, the 6-game suspension comes after a second violation, and the third violation is a suspension without pay for at least a year. So Jameson Williams does get the 4 games. Lions are 3-1 without JMO. They will get him back in full today.
Yeah.
And again, I keep going back to this. Whether he plays or not, I think he'll play. I don't see why he wouldn't play unless he just completely is out of shape, which we don't anticipate at all. But one of the things that Dan Campbell said, and you're going to hear it coming up in the next segment, this guy, what do we want from Jameson? We just want him to know where he's supposed to line up. We want him to know the routes that he's running. We want him to be a part of this team, because the Lions are a team.
Yeah.
They're not run by one guy.
No.
Sure, they have their horses, but everybody's chipping in here. And
their horses run together.
And he wants J-Mo to chip in just like everybody else. He doesn't have to come in and be this 1,000-yard guy, this 1,200-yard guy, or anything like that. Just fit in.
And that's the bare minimum. And that is the bare minimum. That is your job as a professional athlete. That is your job as a guy that was taken in the first round. Your job is you got suspended. You had to work on your own. I expect him to be in shape, depending on his hamstring, mind you. I expect him to be in shape. I expect him to have been in his playbook. And I expect him, when they implement him, I expect he lines up on the right side. I expect he runs the right route. You're a first-round pick last year. It's time to get cracking. As for J-Mo, love you, glad you're back. It's time to rock and roll. We've been waiting. The Lions have been waiting for you to be that guy that you were at Alabama. You don't have to do anything more than who you are.
All right, guys, we're going to go through it all. Dan Campbell press conference today. Give you some nuggets about that. You'll hear what he says about J-Mo, what he says about Emmanuel Mosley, John Kaminsky. Lots to get to. Jared Goff, tons of Lions stuff today. And we'll go around the NFL, too. But first, a message from Mark White.
Yes, Mark White. When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control of the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That is exactly what Mark White and Associate offers. It's called the Minute-by-Minute Listing Agreement by Mark White and Associate. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesales.com or give him a call today at 248-290-8242, markwhitesales.com, where flexibility meets success.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests, for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Experience Dispo Romeo, a team that curates an exclusive atmosphere. Dispo Romeo now open till midnight. Also, Dispo, over 12 locations in the state. Anywhere you are, they'll be there. 21 and up only. 21 and up only. But they have the best cannabis, the best ways to consume your cannabis, whether it's oil, whether it's flower. They got what you need. Come to Dispo, your local plug.
All right, I think the most exciting news for the Detroit Lions fans is we will finally, we hope, get to see Jamison Williams on the field for the Lions as they get set to host the Panthers this Sunday at Ford Field. I expect the roof to blow off that building, by the way, because of the way the Lions beat the Packers.
Yeah.
But Braylon, we've been talking about this guy for a year and a half. There has been obstacles each and every step of the way. Everything is off now. There are no more obstacles. There is no injury to deal with. There is no suspension. Now it's time to play. And don't tell us what you can do. Show us what you can do.
I absolutely agree with you. Now, this is a guy that we talked about 2 years ago, Ryan, in the national championship game. This guy was the best player on the field that day. If this guy doesn't get injured, they win the national championship, they beat Georgia. This is the same guy you're talking about now. He's 2 years basically removed from his ACL surgery in terms of what he did in the offseason last year. You're healthy now with your hamstring. You have been a guy that has made some mistakes. You've been a guy that your team has been waiting for you. They drafted you. They waiting for that star from Alabama. They waiting for that guy they sell can take the top off. You look at some of these players, like look at what Stephon Diggs did yesterday. You wouldn't like to have that player. That's what Jamison is. The guy's getting down the field. He's elite with the speed. That's the one thing, and there's no disrespect to Amon-Ra St. Brown or Josh Reynolds. They just don't run 4-2. You can do different things when you got a guy that can take the top off like that, and it makes it easier for guys underneath. You don't think Sam Laporta is going to eat in the underneath flat route because of that? So just come in, be ready. We drafted you 12th overall for a reason. It's time to show up.
All right, here's Dan Campbell from earlier Monday at the press conference talking about, this was a Dave Burkett question, what are the realistic expectations that you have for Jamison Williams from here to the end of the season? Here's what Dan Campbell had to say.
Honestly, for me, it's dependability. That's it. Reliability, dependability. Going to lined up, know where you're supposed to be. We're going to get the depth out of you, and we can count on you to be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, and that's it. That's it. I'm not looking for yards. I'm not looking for explosives. Not looking for touchdowns. Just be a reliable receiver, like any of those guys in the room. That's it.
When I first got to Cleveland Browns, Romeo Crennel, all he really wanted me to do, I set out of camp late, I signed late, got in there. By the time I got in there, they had already started camp. You know, all he wanted from me, he wanted me to be dependable. He wanted me to be on time for meetings. He wanted me to be a guy that knew the plays, knew what I was supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do when you're in this life. When you get drafted in that position for a team, just do the simple stuff. Because the simple stuff will lead to the big stuff. He's got a good team around him, that offense. They're rolling in the right direction. If he comes in and wants to be a part of this team, it'll be easy for him.
We always talk about this too, and it's a cliche because it's true. The best of ability is availability, and that's exactly what Dan Campbell is telling Jamison Williams, and what he is setting the bar of expectations for every Lions fan. Don't expect this guy to come in and grab 10 catches a game for $150 and 2 touchdowns. What the Detroit Lions are, and this is Jamison Williams' benefit here, the Detroit Lions are not some one-man wrecking crew. Yeah. The Detroit Lions are as close to a team. I kind of correlate them to that 04 Pistons team. You know, there are some stars on this team for sure, but there's no, I don't know. I mean, is there a Hall of Famer on this team? You know what I mean? Maybe
not currently.
Maybe one day, but not currently. You get the point. They work together. Everything is about one unit, and whether it's St. Brown or Laporta or Gibbs or Montgomery or Reynolds or insert name here, they're getting it done on offense because of all of them, and the offensive line included. This isn't just something where Jamison Williams, the most talented player, we believe the most talented player, has to come in and save the day. He does not. He just has to be a part of it.
Yeah, when they drafted him last year, it would have been a situation where his job on offense would have been to save the day. Like, if he would have been healthy last year, it would have been to save the day. He's a guy that can blow the top off the coverage. He's a guy that was playing so good at that level with Alabama, and like I said, in the Georgia game. But now they don't. They got people they trust. Just come in and be somebody you trust. Sam Laporta, Jared Goff trusts him. Ben Johnson trusts him. Dan Campbell trusts him. Jameer Gibbs. David Montgomery comes back. 3 touchdowns, 121 yards, puts his head down and runs guys over. They trust him. They trust Josh Reynolds. You know who they trust, number 14. Just be a guy that they can come in and trust. They're not making it hard. They're not making it hard for him, man.
This is his camp.
Yeah.
I know he had a couple of weeks of training camp, and then he got hurt. Then he had to sit out, and he can't come near the team for 4 weeks. Here it is. He's starting fresh. They don't know what the hell they have here. They just want this kid to go out there, stretch a little, get going. If you put him in for a few plays, maybe he takes the pressure off of Sam Laporta and other guys on that team. Josh Reynolds, he's still going to eat. Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be the number 1 target. Yeah. Sam Laporta is going to be the number 2 target. The guy that's probably not going to get as much anymore, and he really hasn't been in the game plan, is Marvin Jones. But if this kid can just come in, maybe take some pressure off the other guys, because he will. And what team did he wind up beating by like 40 yards last year? They snuck by him. I forgot whatever team that was for the only touchdown.
I was
he's going to do one of those again, because they're going to forget he's on the freaking field eventually.
Yeah, the one thing that I don't want him to do, Ryan and Maz, I don't want him to try to do too much. Like, I don't want him to try to come in and do too much. I remember when I came off my ACL in year 2, like when I came in, when I finally was cleared, when everything was going, it was time for me to play again. I was out there doing everything. I was trying to take every rep in one-on-one. I was trying to take every rep in Skelly. In the games, I'm trying to lay people out. I was trying to do too much. I almost re-injured myself. Just take it in stride. Let the game come to you. Let Ben Johnson put you in good situations to make plays, be blocked when it's a run play. Just let the game come to you. There's a reason you went 12th overall. There's a reason. We believe in that. So let the game come to you and be that first-round pick.
The guy said it was the Viking game last year.
It might have been the Viking game last year. It was the Viking game at home where they won 34-23. And it was a Jamison Williams touchdown pass, 41-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter. Got him going in that one. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for that. But, again, too, for J-Mo, he's got to feel pretty good about the fact, too, that, he's not coming into a 1-3 team where he feels responsible because the offense couldn't get anything done with him. He's got to feel really good that he's coming into a 3-1 team. And I'll tell you else who feels probably pretty good about it. And no offense to Josh Reynolds. I love Josh Reynolds. I think he's been the unsung hero of this first quarter for the Detroit Lions. But the benefit that Amon-Ra St. Brown, whether it's this week or in weeks to come, the benefit that Amon-Ra St. Brown will get from Jamison Williams being on the field, I'm not even sure you can quantify that. At least that's what we expect, right? I mean, if Jamison Williams is, as Dan Campbell said, getting the depth and making sure that he's taken half the field with him, well, you know who you can't double team anymore?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You can't double team him anymore. So there are so many weapons now on this. This is the guy, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That you wanted to see. I mean, opens the doors for Laporta and spreads the field for Gibbs. And when you put speed on the field, man, it just opens the doors for everybody.
He is automatically going to garner 2 players when they believe it's going to go deep. You got a safety and you got a corner. That's 2 players off the board. Amon-Ra St. Brown, with the motion and things that Ben Johnson is starting to implement with him, he's going to eat in that. Sam Laporta is going to eat. There's another guy that's going to eat. Khalif Raymond is starting to come out as a wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. You get all these guys and you add Jamison to the mix. I can't wait to see how Ben Johnson uses J-Mo early on in his first 2 games, because you start looking at what the Lions have, and all of a sudden, that wide receiver core that was just okay, all of a sudden they look like a real threat.
Hey, I'm so excited for Brad Holmes, seeing how happy he gets at the end of these games. He's unwrapping a Christmas gift. He really is. This is a gift, like an extra gift. You remember when we were kids, whoever's birthday it was, the other kids, my parents would get a little something for the other kids as well. I don't want to laugh about that. I'm just saying.
It's got to be an ethnic thing.
I grew up in the wrong house.
So when I get my daughters something, I always give my other daughters a little something on the side. Here, honey, this was.
That's what my mom did too.
Softens the blow.
It's got to be an ethnic.
So this is like a free. This is a free gift. This kid house money. I always say it. The Lions are playing with house money, and they just got a lot better.
They got a lot better, but you got to remember, they gave up a lot to move up to get Jamison, so it ain't house money. It's time for him to play. It's time for him to show up and show out.
There's no doubt about it. And it is exciting to see what this guy can do. Like I said, we've been talking about him forever, and now it's now that the gloves are off, for lack of a better way to say it. And again, Dan Campbell was non-committal today at all. And again, he hasn't seen Jameson Williams even practice yet.
Yeah.
But he said if he plays this week, it's not going to be like he's going to be out there playing 60 plays. That's not fair to him. And also one of the guys that will be out there this week as well sounded like he's going to play, and he'll be under the same sort of restriction that Jameson Williams is Emmanuel Mosley.
Oh, yeah, him.
He's going to be on the field this week. So
That's a gift.
We'll talk about Emmanuel Mosley's impact on the defensive backfield, and we'll talk about the Lions' rush defense. What they are doing is historically good. We'll have
Big Aiden out there.
I can't even believe that's
dominating.
coming out of my mouth.
And a lot better than last year.
Historically good. We'll do that, but first a message from Planet Fitness.
Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. And yes, everyone, they are still just $10 a month.
Only $10?
Only $10? Oh,
For
my
more
gosh.
information, order join today. Visit your local Planet Fitness, or as always, check them out online on planetfitness.com.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Hey guys, how'd you like to play golf like a celebrity? You know you want to, and thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you're going to be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice. Pay attention to us here at Woodward Sports for more of the details.
Glad to have you along with us. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, Woodward Sports on YouTube. Hit the like button as well. Helps YouTube push our content out to more people. We're excited to have Jameson Williams back on the field this week, and excited to have Emmanuel Mosley back on the field as well. The free agent signee from the San Francisco 49ers is going to be back on the field. It sounds like, from what Dan Campbell said today about just his availability on the field, same exact thing as J-Mo. Know where you're supposed to be. Know what you're supposed to do. Don't do too much. They could use some help back there. But again, it's not a one-man wrecking crew back there. So just fit in where you can.
Be nice to get Kirby Joseph back, too.
Extremely happy to have Emmanuel Mosley back. Look, the defense has been really good, especially up front. Defense has been great, so I think Emmanuel Mosley will benefit from that in the secondary. Look, when you get guys pressuring like Aiden and Kaminsky and Charles Harris and Aleem McNeil, Isaiah Buggs, when you're getting that type of pressure on the quarterback, you're going to start to get a lot of interceptions. You start going to get some of these coverage up, these sack interceptions, if you will. Finally, get Walt Harris out of the game. Please bring Emmanuel back for Walt Harris. But no, in all seriousness, with that defensive front right now, with Aiden leading the boys right now, get Emmanuel Mosley back, I'm telling you, watch out. 3 picks this week. I'm calling it.
That would be incredible if he could do that.
No, not him, the defense.
Oh, yeah. Right. That's what I meant.
Leave poor Will Harris alone.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Just a couple of injury. I didn't address this earlier, but Dan Campbell did say on the injuries, way too early to know anything about Brian Branch. yet. He doesn't know about Brian Branch.
Let him sit out.
Doesn't know about Kirby Joseph either.
Let him sit out.
He expects Taylor Decker to play. He expects Taylor Decker will be available, and then Branch and Kirby Joseph, he just didn't know.
Play a half a game, Decker. Get the big lead, and then take him out for the second half.
You almost feel like these next 2 weeks, you should be okay, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you should be okay.
Playing the South, the NFC South, twice.
You've got Carolina, and you've got
Tampa.
Yeah, 100%. At 100%, you should be good. You should beat Carolina handily. You should beat the Bucs handily as well. So this is 2 good games to get guys back. Taylor Decker, you see the difference when he plays, Ryan. It was lights. It was night and day difference when he was on the offensive line versus when he wasn't there. And the good thing about it is he had a longer week. So the next time they play, he'll have 10 days to have kind of recovered from the Packers game.
You know, I'll tell you, because Dan Campbell did talk about the Panthers today as well. We're all just sitting here assuming that this is going to be a win. Dan Campbell talked about that Panthers team earlier today.
This is another opponent who's dying for a win. They got a damn good coaching staff. They got real good players, we all know what they're capable of. I mean, look what happened yesterday. Look at all these scores. You know, look at these teams that. You know, I mean, you can go right across the board, and everybody's talking about that's the next Super Bowl winner because how many points they put up, and then all of a sudden they lose yesterday, and it's like none of that is reality. So this is the next one in front of us, and to have a chance to win it, you got to take it serious, and you got to have a good game plan, and they got to be ready to execute, and they got to have their motor running. That's the focus.
Isn't that the exact message you want to hear from Dan Campbell? Because he's sitting there saying, before he got into this soundbite, he was like, you can't be riding some roller coaster where you're so high or you're so low after a win or after a loss. You got to put it in the background, because this Carolina Panthers team, where you see a 0, a goose egg in the W column right now in the standings, they are a team that is desperate for a win. Yeah. They're going to come in and try to play their best football game against you guys.
They beat your ass last year.
And if you aren't ready, they are going to beat your tail again this year. And he mentioned some of the scores. I mean, Cincinnati getting blown out yesterday. New England getting blown out yesterday. And he single-handedly mentioned the Miami Dolphins. He's like, the one team scores 70 one week. Everybody's talking about them winning the Super Bowl, and then they come next week and they get their teeth kicked in.
Right.
This is an up-and-down league, man. If you're not ready to play,
they'll get you.
There you go.
Best message that Dan Campbell could have had, 100%. Look, we're focused. We're going to come in here. We're not taking anything light. Look, it's the NFL. You saw what happened last year when you strolled down to Carolina thinking you guys were going to go to the playoffs. Everybody's starting to ride high, and you got your ass whooped. Same thing that happened to the Dolphins. They went in there, we big stuff, 70 points, Mike McDaniel with this. They went in there and they got beat. It's man, any given Sunday, something can happen. But if you look at the Carolina Panthers schedule, they scored 24. What did they score? 17 against the Saints, 17-20, tight game. Panthers, they scored 27-37. They're putting some points up. And in the Vikings game yesterday, ugly team, ugly loss. But they're trying to put some points up, and they're trying to fight, and you hit the nail on the head. But they're starving for a win. They're starving for a win. When you get in the NFL, it's not fun when you're losing, man. When you're sitting at 0-4, like, nothing's fun. You don't want to go out in public when you're 0-4. You don't want to do anything but work. You don't even want to come to work when you're 0-4. It sucks. You got to get a win. So be careful, but Dan Campbell has the right energy.
Listen, they're playing against a rookie quarterback coming back off an injury. You got to take care of business.
Agreed.
This is a team that whipped you last year. This is a team that you know the coaching staff. Frank Reich, the head coach, Deuce Staley, the running back coach. You know those guys because the Colts were here last year. Obviously, Deuce was here last year. You heard Dan Campbell single that out. They got a good coaching staff. That's a well-coached team with a young quarterback trying to learn how to win. What'd they have? Almost 300 yards in rushing in the first half last year?
Yeah.
That ain't going to happen this year, Ryan.
No,
not with this line.
Can't.
There's always two different messages, all right? For when coaches that's why it's called coach speak. when he comes to the podium, Dan Campbell's going to give you the message that he wants you to know. This is a message that he's also going to give his team. Hey, don't take anybody for granted. We're not going to ride too high. We're going to we're going to maintain, even kill. We're to come out there. We're not going to underestimate them, and we're going to play a damn good football team. Or we're going to play a damn good game because this is the NFL. But when they're in that locker room and it's just Dan Campbell and the players, and there's no cameras, there's no media around, he's telling that team, we're way better than them. We should beat the you-know-what out of them. We should dominate them on all fronts. They're better than they're inferior to us. That's the conversation that he's going to have in Allen Park behind closed doors. So I guarantee, buckle up. They're gonna do something.
Defensively, you mentioned, Maz, about last year Carolina 300-plus yards rushing in the first half. It was incredible. This year, the Detroit Lions are anything but porous when it comes to run defense. This is from Mike Payton, who is on X at A2Z_Payton.
He does a good job.
He does a really good job. Beat writer for A to Z Sports. Really nice job. His tweet, the Lions have allowed 243 rushing yards in 2023. Only, where is it here? The 2000 Ravens allowed fewer rushing yards in the first 4 games of any season. The 85 Bears, 416 yards they've allowed.
Wow.
The 1970 Steelers, 394 yards. Ooh. The 1986 Giants, 277 yards.
All Super Bowl champions.
All Super Bowl champions. The 2023 Detroit Lions, 243 yards on the ground through 4 games.
Well done.
That is incredible.
Stopping the run and running on a team is attitude. It's statement. That's what in the NFL, when you rush the ball like the Carolina Panthers did on the Detroit Lions last year, you got outmanned. That's when you come to the locker room and you don't even say nothing to your brothers because you all are in agreement. We got whooped today. When you run the ball like the Lions did against the Green Bay Packers, dominating 5 yards of crack every time you see them, they're falling forward on the offensive line. Man, that is demoralizing. That is demoralizing for a team to see that coming. Like, we can't run the ball. They can run the ball on us. It's a man-to-man type game. You playing at that clip right there, 232 yards rushing on the season for the 4 teams. Telling you, man, that defense is doing something real up front.
The Lions allowed 27 rushing yards to Green Bay. That's the fewest rushing yards they've allowed to the Packers since 1987. It's 2 straight games that they've allowed less than 45 yards rushing. That's the first time they've done that since 2014. And a big reason for that, the defensive line. Dan Campbell talked about one of the guys on there today, John Kaminsky.
Oh, man. Kamish is, he's kind of the secret sauce to all of it, the Kamish. He's the ultimate hard hat guy. He's got his lunch pail and his hard hat, and he just comes in and puts in a damn good day's worth of work. And look, he was responsible for shutting down the 2-point conversion the other day too. I mean, that was a heck of a job fighting through the block to keep that a 2-score game. But Kamish is just somebody, we talked about a minute ago with players, dependability, reliability. Like he fits that to a T. He handles a lot of jobs for us. He handles the big end. He can play 3 technique inside. He's he's really one of the keys to us setting up our rush game when we get in 3rd down and some of those things. He's physical. He's got push. He can separate, and he can play the run. So he's just kind of he's a little bit of the unsung hero for us on the D-line. Well, I think we've got some growth in that area. I think Mac's playing pretty good for us. Benito's been good. Thought Bug stepped in the other day and did some good things for us. Certainly Hutch is a better player. I think you can go across that board. And I think our linebackers are playing at a high level too, across the board. I think that's Alex, I think that's Barnes, and I think that's Campbell, all 3 of them. So I think it's a combination of a lot of things. And I just think we're better, we're more mature, we're a little bit more developed, and we're a little bit better with talent. And AG's doing a hell of a job.
So all of those things, all of those people that were named are reasons for the Lions' run defense to being historically good right now. And Bray, we talk about it all the time. And he alluded to it a little bit, Dan Campbell did, in this soundbite. But he said how good Aleem McNeil has been has allowed Aiden Hutchinson to be better. And it's kind of like what we were talking about with Jameson Williams back. If Jameson Williams comes back and does what he's supposed to do, Amon-Ra St. Brown will be better than he already is. When Aleem McNeil and John Kaminsky are doing things in the middle, it allows your edge guys, most notably Aiden Hutchinson, to play a little looser and get to the quarterback. Dan Campbell said there was even one play that Aleem McNeil doesn't get any credit for anything, but Hutchinson got the sack because Aleem McNeil did what he's supposed to do. That is team football. That is complementary football. That's exactly what this football team is about. And when everybody does their job, it's just how it's supposed to go.
Look, man, when you're getting to the court, and going back to that Green Bay game, they only had 40 yards at halftime damn near. And then at the end of the third quarter, if they didn't give them that play that should have been not counted, you're talking about even less yards. When you can get to the quarterback, Ryan, when you're getting guys like Aleem McNeil, that's one reason why I wanted them to have a defensive interior presence. It's so that Aiden Hutchinson can eat, so that Charles Harris on the other side can eat. When you're getting after the quarterback, when you're not allowing them to just sit there and pick you apart, i.e. Geno Smith 2 years in a row, when you're getting to the quarterback, now the quarterback, when the ball is snapped, he's thinking about the rush coming. He's not just dialing, la, 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 where's Tyler Lockett at? La, la, where's DK Metcalf? When you get to the quarterback, now as soon as I start the ball, I'm looking like this, and that's what they're doing. They're getting inside the head of the quarterback. Because you're thinking, like, I don't want to get hit.
Hey, Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders combined for 60 yards this past week against the Vikings. Bryce Young ran for 7. He also gave the ball up. Minnesota ran it back for a touchdown. I expect huge things out of the Lions defense this week.
Detroit by 50.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to call it a revenge game because the last revenge game we called it, they lost.
Overtime,
Seattle
though.
in overtime, right.
They got our number, though.
But again, just play this year out, okay?
Yeah.
Coming up next, we're going to be joined by our Lions beat reporter, WSN Lions beat reporter, Matt Broder, down in Allen Park today. We'll get his take on everything in regards to the Detroit Lions. But first, a message from Hamlin Pub?
Yes, the Hamlin Pub. Have you ever wanted a bar? Have you ever wanted to go to a bar where you're a regular? Well, we have just a place for you. Head over to Hamlin Pub. There's 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular. Whether you're feeling half off pizza on Thursdays or game day specials.
Half off pizza on Thursdays? Just in time for Thursday night football. We love that.
Or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games. Hamlin Pub is the place. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Oh, hell yeah. We got to go.
Hey, I'm ready. Them wings look good.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
you like to win a 100K Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in a city that never sleeps. It's the Centron Energy Drink It and Live It sweepstakes. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter for your chance to win the 100K Vegas getaway at drinkcentron.com/Vegas and buy Centron at your local Myers store. It's Centron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and a choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best versions of themselves at drinkcentron.com/Vegas.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, and Tom Mazaway. We got JB in the TD booth today. Mike Gentry in the audio booth today.
Gentry.
Don't forget to check Gentry out during the Red Wings season today. Our Red Wings beat reporter. Hell yeah, Mikey G.
I sit next to Mike Gentry at Red Wings.
You do,
when I do go.
Look at that.
How far are we out from the season starting?
Got it like 10 days or so.
Okay.
Yep.
Who's the opener against?
Tampa Bay, I want to say.
Of course.
Oh, there you go.
Look at that. Look at that.
Heisman gets his old squad.
Plenty of time to talk about the Red Wings on the Big D Energy Show with Darren McCarty. Sorry. I love it. I love it. But guys, that's
Gentry once a week on this show at Red Wings.
Yeah,
once a week.
Gentry can talk about
Yeah,
it, but
once
we
a
ain't got
week.
nothing to say.
Once a week.
Gentry can talk about it. How
Oh,
about
right.
I'll come on.
maybe we'll do that for sure.
Okay.
We're talking about these
No,
lines.
we will do Mike Gentry on the show. We got to pick a day to do it. Guys, Wednesdays. I love it. Matt Broder. And you can hear Matt Broder, by the way. It's Booner and Broder Woodward Nights.
Those guys are good.
10, absolutely.
Broder.
Hey, freshly shaven Matt
see you.
Broder.
Oh.
My God.
Come on, Tom Selleck.
Oh, from Allen Park. Hey, Matt, what in the world? When did you do that, my friend?
That was a decision this weekend, and let me know if you guys can hear me all right. You know,
We got you.
Like a dealer with no product, I'm now stashless, but that's okay. It's,
I see you.
It's time for November. It'll be back in November, I'm sure.
Hey, Matt, just brush us up on, as far as the injuries. I heard Dan Campbell say too early for Branch and Kirby Joseph, but looks like Taylor Decker should be good to go. Is there anything more to that? Is there anything we didn't see today or anything more in terms of Brian Branch or Kirby Joseph?
No, you hit on it. There wasn't much extra detail given to us off camera about the injuries. It's exactly what Dan Campbell spoke about in his press conference. It's just a little too early to be to know for sure how much if any time guys like Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, even Halapoulivaati Vaitai coming back. It's just too early to tell when or if they'll be playing again. But he was optimistic about both Taylor Decker and like you said, Emmanuel Mosley. They're going to start inching him back into rhythm, getting him in game shape, getting him back used to being out on the field.
Brother, as I'm looking at the number 2 wide receiver of all time behind your head, and that is Herman Moore, gets me thinking about the wideout position. With Jameson,
Yes.
love it. With Jameson Williams, what's going to be the implementation of him into the offense getting into next week against the Panthers?
You know, in his press conference, Dan Campbell didn't say a ton. He spoke about they're going to ease him in. He's not going to play 60 snaps. I know you were talking about that earlier on the show.
Yeah.
I'm curious if that's a little bit of gamesmanship, if that's a little bit of coach talk to a young player who still needs to earn his position on this team, still needs to earn his snaps. His talent is outrageous. There's no denying that. But his training camp, his offseason, it hasn't been perfect or fluid at all. So I have a feeling, at least before those comments, I was thinking that this game was going to be treated a lot like what we were thinking that third preseason game was going to be, where they were going to get him extra reps, where they're going to get him as much in rhythm with Jared Goff and that offense as possible. So I think it's played by ear. They haven't seen him really in the last, 3, 4, 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So this week in practice, I think they're going to learn a lot, and then we'll learn a little bit more as the week goes on. But from his press conference, he said he's not going to be near 60 snaps, so we'll see how they use him in this first game.
Man, you may have just answered it. I think you gave me a question that I'm going to lead into. I'm going to piggyback you. How much does Ben Johnson really even know about Jameson Williams? Because last year, he was injured for the most part for the majority of the season. He only played 2 games or so. Then the offseason, he was suspended. Then the hamstring and training camp. Do they even really know what Jameson is and can do right now?
That's a great point, Braylon, and they might not. I mean, all they have to go off of is what they saw at Alabama, a little bit of time last year, and then earlier this preseason, this offseason, I should say. So they don't really know, but to me, the biggest impact of having Jameson Williams back is what that does to the other wide receivers, what that opens up for the other wide receivers and tight ends in that offense. Just having a guy like that out on the field, the defense has to game plan for that, and it just creates matchup nightmares. It leaves Amon-Ra St. Brown, Laporta, Josh Reynolds, and Khalif Raymond. It leaves all these guys either in man coverage or in better situations against the opposing defense. Just having that threat of Jameson Williams out there and being able to take it to the end zone, whether he catches a 2-yard slant or a deep route. He can do so much on the field after he catches the ball. It's not just taking the top off. It's just that threat of being able to get to the end zone from anywhere on the field.
Hey, Matt, what does this next 2 weeks mean to this team? Two games against the NFC South, home for the Panthers, and then away at the Bucs. Two teams that they should handle, but the Panthers last year ran all over them. This year, Panthers really can't get out of their own way on the run game, and Deuce Staley is the coach over there, but Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders are struggling a little this year. What's your take on that?
You know, this might sound crazy to say, but I think these next 2 weeks will speak a lot about what this team really is made of. There are two games that the Lions really should win. They're going to be favored. They're going to be the superior team going into it. Are they going to play down to their opponent? Are they going to lay an egg out there? Or are they going to come out early and sort of step on their throats, really end the game early so they can use the time to get people healthy, whether that's taking Taylor Decker out of the second half of the game or trying other things on offense or defense. I think in years past, these are the trap games that may have bit the Lions and eventually hurt them later in the season. They have such a bad taste in their mouth from the Carolina Panthers game last year. It feels from both Dan Campbell's press conference and Ali McNeil and Derek Barnes, who we got to speak to after that press conference. They're not taking this game lightly, and they're not taking these next two games lightly. They feel as focused as I've ever seen them, as I've felt them being here in the building, and that makes me feel good. There's not this overexcitement. We're the best team in the NFC or the NFC North. They're business as usual. They celebrated their win against the Packers, and it feels like Monday morning here in Allen Park, it's business as usual. And they're going to go out looking to I'll say make a statement against Carolina, but really just take care of business.
I absolutely agree with you, Matt. You know, you're talking about what they did against Green Bay. They were a much better team than Green Bay, and they dominated. That's what I expect to see out of them this week against the Panthers. But I want to talk about that domination. It's on the defensive side. It's the defensive line. Talk about how good Aiden Hutchinson has been, and is he starting to enter a new type of category with the elite of the elite?
Aiden Hutchinson has been playing great, and I certainly believe so that he's entering that category. He's at the top of the NFL in terms of pressures, still working his way up the other statistical categories. But we can see just how much of a difference maker he is out on the defense and how much his play, his aggressiveness, his violence, playing that edge position has helped now bring out the best from the teammates around him. Ali McNeil talked about in his press conference how much chemistry that defensive line is forming together and how the elevation of each other's plays are now bringing the most out of him, out of Benito Jones, out of Bugs coming back. It's that sack frenzy that's happening, the energy that they're getting from those sacks or from big plays or even just Aiden Hutchinson getting to the quarterback. They're feeding off that, and that's allowing other players to step in and actually get the sacks or make plays on their own. Derek Barnes spoke to, his eyes lit up when he was asked about the pass rush and his sort of expanded role rushing the passer. It seems like that whole defense, especially that front seven, is starting to gel together, and we haven't even seen the best out of the secondary with Emmanuel Mosley coming back, inching his way back in. Imagine once all these pieces start to come together, we may see even more out of this defensive line, which is crazy to think of this early in the season after what we experienced last year.
Yeah, super excited about it. I mean, obviously, Aiden Hutchinson, number 2 overall, you expect him to be that. Aleem McNeil going into the season last year, they talked about what type of freak he was. I believe it was ESPN had him rated one of the top freaks in the league. But I ain't never heard of Benito Jones, but I wish I had. That guy can play.
He can, and he's one of those who's just been slowly but surely progressing along in his development, and all he needed was that opportunity, and for whatever reason, Bugs was inactive the first 2 weeks. Benito Jones was that one who was able to step up. And although those first 2 games didn't see him get a sack, didn't see him in the stat sheet too much, that is valuable experience and valuable chemistry that he's gaining playing alongside Aleem McNeil, playing alongside Charles Harris. Just the feel of going against the Chiefs offensive line, even the Seahawks depleted offensive line. They had Evan Brown there for the first quarter or two in that game. So he's getting valuable experience, and he's a tough guy. I don't know if you guys saw all this stuff coming out of this weekend. Actually, Danny Rogers had a more in-depth interview on Benito Jones and his time growing up on a farm and, carrying trees and riding horses, all this stuff. It's much more in-depth than what I'm able to explain right now. But he's just a tough guy who just wants to play football. He wants to be on this team, and it seems like his personality is coming out. And I love to see when guys' personalities come out, because that confidence starts to bleed out on the field. It's kind of like that Jamal Williams effect from last season, or C.J. Gardner-Johnson earlier this season. The more confident they are in the locker room, the better they're going to be playing out on the field also.
Brother, I tell you this, mustache or not, you're damn good at your job.
Talking to Matt Broder, our WSN Lions beat reporter. Hey, Matt, just stay with this defense for a minute, too. I mean, if you look at what this is about scoring more points than the other team.
Yeah.
And if you don't give up many points to the other team, you're going to have a chance to win that game. In 3 of the 4 games this year, the Lions have held their opponent to 20 or less. If you want to go back to last year, make it 9 of the last 12 games, they've held their opponent to 20 or less. It seems like this offense has the ability to score more than 20 points. This thing is getting, I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but when you're doing, holding teams to under 20,
I agree.
You're in for a really, really big year.
That's a recipe for success in the NFL. And Aleem McNeil talked about in his press conference how their goal is to make the opposing offense one-dimensional. And for them, that means shutting down the run game. And the way they've performed earlier in this season gives hope for the rest of the season as they start to get healthy, as they start to even get better in their development on that defensive line. And they compared it, or Aleem compared it to how the Detroit Lions offense, the offensive line and their run game, it almost takes the life out of the opposing team when it's on, when they're sort of firing on all cylinders, pushing, moving the line of scrimmage forward. That's their goal on the defensive end. When you can prevent that, it almost has the same effect on the offense, really taking the life out of what their game plan was. You look at a team like Green Bay, they live and die off of Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, and just getting that run game established so that Jordan Love or whatever quarterback has been out there can use the play-action pass, use the run game to find Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, and those guys off of that. So they're getting confident. They're not getting ahead of themselves, but they're getting confident that their defense, their defensive line will slim it down a little bit, pun intended, I guess, with Aleem McNeil. Their defensive line is going to continue to improve, and these are good tests against Carolina and Tampa Bay to then get ready for an incredible rushing attack against Baltimore.
You can hear them every single weeknight here on Woodward Sports YouTube channel from 8 to 10. Booner and Broder, of course, read them on woodwardsports.com. Our WSN Lions beat reporter. Love this guy. He's not your bro. He's not my bro. He's Matt Bro.
He's our
21
bro.
on X. Matt Bro 21 on X. Great job, Matt.
Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your afternoon.
You got it. Bro. We'll be watching tonight, 8 to 10, here on Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Booner and Broder.
He's going to get carded now without that mustache.
I know, right? He did look young.
No doubt about it. Guys, we're going to do our studs and duds. We'll do them next. But first, a message from Glorious.
Just in time for football season, Glorious Cannabis is dropping their new ice water blue hash infused pre-roll. Stuff is smooth. We've had it at the studio here. Honolulu Blue. Nice strand, smells good. It is the stuff of dream. Check it out. Glorious Canna, CANNA.com, or anywhere, including Dispo. Cannabis is sold.
We should probably go.
Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Everybody, let me tell you about Outdoor Equipment Company, the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports, Michigan-grown, family-owned bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers, Liberty trailers, Generac generators, they have it all. If you live in Michigan, it's getting cold outside, folks, or it will get cold outside. Get those generators. Around here, you gotta have one. Snow X plows and salters. Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. Buy it, rent it. 0% financing delivered to your doorstep. OutdoorEquipCo.com. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
That generator is a must. It is a must.
We got one. It was a year and a half ago. We had just gone to Costco, and I had a freezer downstairs.
Costco will get you.
I have a freezer downstairs, and I don't even want to tell you how much money I spent stocking up that freezer.
Okay.
You got who around the block from you?
Who?
Our steaks.
Oh,
Fairway.
Right,
Pack.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I
think I know where you're going.
The power went out. It was supposed to be a couple of hours, I think. It was out for 4 days. And the amount of money that I felt like I lost in meat alone
that's tough.
was like... and so we got a generator. It's been on 6 times since I got it in a year and a half.
And it clicks right on.
Yep.
That's the thing I love about it. The power's been going out a lot over the last 2 years. Like, I get lucky. I live on a hospital grid, but having that generator, it's like click, click.
It's almost
right
like insurance. It's
is.
If you live in Michigan, it's almost something you have to like save up to buy for
It's
now.
probably a better deal than insurance.
Yes.
When it comes down to it, because
you actually know you're going to use it.
You're going to use it.
What was that time? Was it earlier this year or was it last year where the power was out in a lot of places for like a week and a half, like 2 weeks? I was good.
Could have happened a few times already this year.
And dude, I mean, whether it's hot in the summer or cold in the winter. Anyway, Tom Mazaway, before we do studs and duds, how about we go around the NFL and we get some scores and we'll do it that way.
Absolutely.
So why don't you take us through
You
here,
can incorporate it
Yes,
here
we'll
as
incorporate.
well. Let's get a little music under us, Mikey.
That's how we do.
Mikey Gentry, a little music under us.
Tom Mazaway says.
Here we go.
Not too loud, though.
Not too loud. Hey, we'll start you off. If you were up early yesterday, 9:30 kickoff from London, the Jags, they whipped up on the Atlanta Falcons, 23-7. The final. Bijan did all right for Atlanta, not bad. Trevor Lawrence did a little bit better. Finally hits Calvin Ridley for a touchdown, and the Jags get a win in London. And guess what? For the first time, they will stay in London for the whole week now and take on the Buffalo Bills, who come in next Sunday. I'm telling you right now, listen to me. The Jags are going to beat the Bills next Sunday at Tottenham. Wow. Guaranteed.
At Tottenham Stadium?
Yep.
All right, we'll see by Friday if I agree with you to take that pick. But the Falcons stink. They don't have a quarterback. Yeah, they just a dumpster fire right now. Drake London can't figure it out. Kyle Pitts, hello.
Yeah, 8 yards again.
Where's that guy at? He's on my fantasy. But you know what? That broadcast that they did was pretty cool. Did you see the ESPN Plus broadcast?
Yeah, the Toy
Story character.
Toy Story.
It was pretty. I thought it was pretty cool. I called it the replay because I wasn't getting up in that.
You got anything on that game?
I got nothing on that game. I got nothing. Here's what I got on that game.
Yeah.
Here's what I got on that game. Trevor Lawrence is no good. Is fine. But he's not the guy. I'm just telling you that right now.
Okay.
Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence.
Wow. You're putting him with those guys?
No, I'm not putting him with those guys. But he ain't He should be a lot better in year 3 than he is, in my opinion.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you, but I think they're still trying to figure out the offense, moving parts with Calvin Ridley, and trying to get that system implemented. Because I still got to believe what I saw in the playoffs. And I think that's where I'm stuck on it right now. I saw the comeback in the second half against the Chargers. So I'm still giving some rope, but you're absolutely right. He did take a step back so far this year.
Hey, Buffalo all over the Dolphins yesterday, 48-20. Josh Allen had a huge day. So did Stephon Diggs. Finally, it looks like those guys are on the same page, and Buffalo looks like the team we thought they were going to be a couple of years ago.
It's my stud. He is my stud. Josh Allen, 320 yards and 4 touchdowns. Not only that, but he barely, he rushed for one as well. He had as many incompletions as he did touchdown passes.
Yeah. 4
incomplete passes, 4 touchdown passes.
And a run.
21-25.
And a run.
320 for a touchdown and a rushing touchdown, absolutely.
I got to give Ken Dorsey some credit because we were very crucial with Ken Dorsey last year because he deservingly deserved it, the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. He simplified the game for Josh Allen. He's let him allow them to stay in the pocket. He stopped rushing them, doing all that dumb stuff, and they've been running the ball much more with James Cook, and that's why you're seeing the success. And he's still Josh Allen because you see him get on that end when you see his little bit of space. He still takes off, so they're doing a great job by him.
Fun game to watch. And the juice was there, by the way.
Oh, my gosh.
The juice.
I mean, how do they let him into the stadium?
He's got a suite.
He can buy a ticket.
I know.
He's got a suite.
In the suite. I mean,
Did you see what he said about not
juice
going to
is loose.
California?
Did you kill Bill Walsh?
He says he won't go to California because he's afraid he could be sitting next to the killer.
I know. He's going to find him.
If you look in the mirror.
Dude, that is terrible, man.
That's what he said.
I know.
Hey,
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, get off the juice's back.
That is
Get off his back.
terrible.
I mean, he did have 2,000 yards in 14 games.
Against the Jets, man. Hey,
what did that guy say at the college show? Yeah, Juice. Did you find it to what's your hardest feat to rush for 2,000 yards in one season or slice 2 necks in one night? It's terrible, man.
It is terrible.
Oh, gosh. All right, we move on.
Yes.
We go to Carolina. The winless Panthers, they're still winless. Vikings beat them 21-13. Kirk Cousins threw a pick 6 to begin the game. 99 yards. He chased the guy down only to get completely whitewashed on a block. But he threw 2 touchdowns to Justin Jefferson. Vikings off the schneid.
Yeah, they still stink. I don't like them, and I think the Lions are going to beat them down. But it's good to see Justin Jefferson get in the end zone.
They had to fight to win that game, Minnesota did. I mean, they fought hard to win that game, and they had to hang on at the end.
Here's the question.
The Minnesota Vikings are not good. And
it's another one-score game.
They are wasting their time with Minnesota. You know, I saw this over the weekend, too. You know who should make a trade for Kirk Cousins? Now, I said Washington.
Right.
Forget about the Jets. I said Washington. What about the Atlanta Falcons?
Yeah, a lot of people saying that.
You know?
Yeah.
Everyone wants Kirk.
Well, they should, and Minnesota should do that. They can't.
Minnesota's in better shape than Atlanta.
They can't win anything.
Yeah, I agree.
They can't win anything, though.
But I don't think they want Kirk because at the end of the day, you look at this quarterback class that's coming in, Maz. It's about 10 quarterbacks. Now, it's only about 5 or 6 that go in that top first round. They're just trying to position themselves around 8 to 7 and snag one of them dudes.
There's 3 quarterbacks that are worth it.
Shador, Caleb, Drake.
I don't think Shador's coming out, but he would be one of them if he did.
Is Bo Nix worth it?
I don't know. Man, he was good.
Michael Penix?
Never mind. I digress.
We move.
Just stop.
Let's move on.
I know when to cut my losses.
Okay, the Bears, winless. The Broncos, winless. Somebody had to win. Broncos, the Bears had a 28-3 lead? 28-3 lead.
28-7,
4 touchdowns for Justin Fields, only to give them all back. The Broncos win it 31-28. Poor Bears.
I got a couple duds, and this is one of them. Fire Matt Eberflus. What is he good at? He's supposed to be a defensive coordinator. The defense where? They look atrocious. You consistently waste Justin Fields.
Offense gave up a touchdown.
Justin Fields blew that game, too.
He gave up a touchdown.
They both blew that game.
They are going on a year when the last time they won a game.
Oh, look, I am no apologist for Eberflus.
Hell no.
But in that particular game, Justin Fields blew that one.
Bears have lost 14 straight, by the way.
It's also arguably his best game.
Right.
of all time.
It was his best first half.
Until the end. Yeah, first half.
You play 60 minutes, though.
That game, I refuse to turn that game on.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Ravens beat the Browns. Browns play without Deshaun Watson. 3 touchdowns for Lamar Jackson.
I feel like that shouldn't count on
2
my
of them
pick
to Mark
segment.
Andrews. I'm sorry, it counts. 28 to 3.
Count, though, in the pick segment. I didn't know Deshaun Watson was not playing.
We didn't know either, but we still picked it.
Well,
he wasn't ruled out till Sunday.
Yeah,
I picked Baltimore,
Me
but
too.
I didn't know, and this is how you know I didn't know. Don't you know I started Deshaun Watson?
Oh, Jesus.
No, you didn't.
And still beat JB.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
What's JB to home of the
So
blind,
great.
man?
That's good.
Anyway, Texans on J.J. Watt Day annihilate the Pittsburgh Steelers 30-6. C.J. Stroud. Put up the stat here for me, JB. C.J. Stroud in the run around the NFL. This kid hasn't thrown an interception yet.
That's incredible
Look
for
at him.
a rookie quarterback. That is incredible. He is, for those doing audio only, he was 16 of 30 passing for 322 and 2 touchdowns. Been the best rookie quarterback so far. He's won Rookie of the Month honors in September. He has not thrown an interception yet. My goodness.
DeMeco Ryans is doing a great job.
And these are my studs, DeMeco Ryan and C.J. Stroud. Those are my studs for the week. I mean, he's the lights out right now. 1,380 yards passing on the season, no interceptions. He's only second to Cam Newton in terms of a 4-game span as a rookie. And remember when he didn't go to the camp and it was, he didn't want to go because of this, and Ryan Clark came out and said that about him, and it was, he's another Ohio State quarterback. He's done nothing thus far but show you that he was the man for the job. So,
This kid could be. He could break the jinx.
I don't like
of
picking
the
Ohio State at all,
quarterback.
but I do got to give him credit.
Look, this is a very rare situation, too, and I know it's only 4 games.
Defense.
But it's very rare where you have such a high draft pick where you're going to pick a quarterback and you go with a defensive coordinator to be your head coach.
Yes.
So it seemingly, right now anyway, it's only a month in, it can work. It's very rare for it to work.
It seems
But
like
it is working out right now.
It is. It seems like he's hired the right offensive coordinator. It seems like he's hired the right offensive coordinator for C.J. Stroud for that team. I mean, look, the defensive coaches, Ryan, outside of him and Pete Carroll, they're all struggling. Mike Tomlin's struggling with Kenny Pickett. Like, everybody's struggling with their quarterback. So to see it actually work with a defensive coach, it's refreshing for a change.
Here's a game of the day. It's the Rams and the Colts. Rams were up big on the Colts.
23-0.
23-0. Back comes Anthony Richardson. 3 touchdowns for that kid. A couple of them on the ground. He gets the 2 2-point conversions. They go to overtime. Matthew Stafford hits Puka Nacua. Put up his stats, JB. Go back to that same area. This kid is an absolute dynamo. 29-23 Rams win.
Looks like
Look at this guy.
Bruce Lee with like long hair.
Look at his numbers.
10 catches, 15 catches, 5 catches, 9 catches, 119, 147, 72, 162.
That's my stud.
Here's my question.
That's my stud.
The best thing about those stats that you don't see, each of those, he only had 1 missed target. I mean, it was only 1 target extra. So he's like Sam Laporta.
Here's my question. And look at these stats when I'm asking you this question.
Don't you dare say what you're going to say.
I'm going to say it.
Don't you dare.
I'm going to say it. This, to me, is why I don't think you can put Cooper Kupp in any top 10 list.
Thank you, finally. Thank you.
In like a top 5 list.
I've been
This
saying
kid,
this for 3
I've
years.
never heard this guy's name before.
No one has, except the Rams.
Exactly. And he is absolutely putting up stupid numbers. Like completely obscene numbers. When this kid does this, does it highlight for you a little bit that maybe Cooper Kupp's numbers are inflated? Because if this kid can do this, nobody's ever heard of him. I guarantee you there's damn near 1,000 people right now watching live. I guarantee you not one person that is watching this show right now has heard of Puka Nacua. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Prior to this season with the Rams.
When I said that about even the year that he had the Triple Crown, when I said he wasn't my top 5, last year I said he wasn't my top 5. This year I say is what I used to get crushed. I used to get killed. We keep talking about Sean McVay as this genius. Well, maybe we need to start giving that genius and Matt Stafford, when he's healthy, a little bit more credit.
Incredible stuff. We're going to take a break.
He played hurt, too. He didn't want to come out of the game.
Yeah. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more around the league, and we'll continue on with our studs and duds as well. And feel free to let me know, respond to that claim that maybe Cooper Kupp isn't as great. I mean, he's a really, really good player.
He's a good player.
And maybe a top 15 guy. But does he do the same things for the Rams? Does he put up these stupid numbers anywhere else? But first, a message from Swiss.
Swiss, do you have football on the brain like us? Of course you do. Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year has already been awesome. Fall is also a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with the pros at Swiss Insurance. They cover us here at WSN, and they should be covering you as well. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at SwissINS.com, or as always, give them a call at 248-800-4177. That is Swiss Insurance.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Downtown in the Cambria Hotel, it is 5 Iron Golf, the new place to practice and play. 13 brand new TrackMan simulators, so you can play any golf course around the world. It is the stuff of dreams. 13, also, you can eat, you can drink, you can have. The heat out there is fake. It's about to get cold outside. You don't want to be trying to golf when it's 20 degrees. So we'll see you at Cambria Hotel, 5 Iron Golf.
Hey, welcome back. Let's get right back to the NFL. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Braylon, I just want you to comment first, please.
No, you know what? I owe you an apology, Ryan Ermanni. Before the draft, there was an individual, way before the draft, there was actually last season, there was an individual that you, Tom Mazaway, wanted. And I told you I didn't think the guy was the right man for the job. I didn't think that he had quarterbacked enough on the college level, so I didn't think that he would be good in the NFL. But he went to the Indianapolis Colts. He got with Shane Steichen, the same guy that turned around Jalen Hurts. And Anthony Richardson, my friend, he's a stud.
Player.
He is going to be a player. And
I love a
player.
They haven't even gotten it going yet. They haven't even gotten the weapons.
They don't have Taylor yet.
Exactly.
Jonathan Taylor.
So, Maz, Ryan, I apologize. I was wrong on Anthony Richardson. You guys were
unbelievable.
Thank you, Braylon.
Appreciate you.
All right.
But
sweet.
Nobody in the chat is going to say that you suck.
They're still going to talk about Malik.
You said Malik Willis
Oh,
too.
my God.
Yeah.
Malik's the number 2, by the way. Just let you know.
This is true. He almost beat Patrick Mahomes last year.
That's right.
They went to overtime.
I'll tell you, no one cares about my fantasy team, but I had Patrick Mahomes. I wound up trading him because my backup quarterback was Anthony Richardson. That's how much I believe in Anthony Richardson. All right, here we go. Back to the scoreboard
Here
we go. Follow up. Fire those cannons and get the Jolly Roger out. Tampa Bay wins again behind Baker Mayfield. They beat the New Orleans Saints with Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara. They still couldn't get out of their own way. Bucks 26, New Orleans 9.
Maz, and the reason why it's so shocking to me is I went to practice in New York, in Florham Park, and I watched the scrimmage between the Bucks and the Jets. They looked horrible, Ryan. Like, they looked awful. I told you what Mike Evans said to me. He walked up to me and said, "What's up, OG? I know you." He was like, "Man, this ain't it." This is what Mike Evans tells me. And now they're 3-1 with Baker Mayfield. I got nothing but love for Baker Mayfield and what they're doing down there. Shout out to Todd Bowles, because I thought he was going to get fired.
Hey, they might win this division. Tampa Bay, believe it or not. I mean, this division's a bad division.
Who's going to beat them? The Carolina with no quarterback?
New Orleans is not the team. I mean, I think 9-8. Last year 8-9 won it. I think 9-8 can get it done. Their schedule does kind of. They've got the Lions. They've got the Bills. They've got the 49ers.
Ooh.
Everybody else, though, it's a very winnable game. You're talking Titans, Texans, Falcons, Colts, Panthers, Packers. I mean,
some winnable games
so
in there.
there's some winnable games in there. They can get 6 more.
But those 3 teams you name are going to beat the hell out of them.
Baker might get paid next offseason. I don't know for who.
You can't wait to say you
Baker might get paid.
Maz cannot wait to say I told you.
It'd be his biggest FU of all time. It'd be his biggest FU of all time.
He would deserve it too.
Oh my God!
I've been on Baker's.
Kyle Trask still sitting on the bench in Tampa. All right, let's move on. This was I thought was a terrific game.
This is my.
This is a terrific game. Now Ryan and I, a lot of other people play a survivor pool. What you do is you take one team per week. Obviously, and if they win, you move on. If they don't, you're out. Well, a lot of people yesterday were on the Philadelphia Eagles at home, laying 8.5. All they got to do is win the game. So Ryan and I are rooting hard for Washington. I happened to take Washington yesterday. I had a hunch. They tied this game up. Sam Howell has flashes. He ties it up at 31 apiece with no time left.
Well, 31-30.
Right. It was 31-30. And I had said to Ryan maybe 20 minutes earlier, I bet you Washington ties it and goes for 2 in the win. They tie it, and Riverboat Ron says, go for 1.
He should be fired.
3-4 years ago.
Did you hear what his excuse was?
No.
He said, my team was gassed.
Was tired.
We were gassed.
That's taking the win.
That's fireable.
That's taking the win.
That's
a Marty Morningweg. Push him back. Push him back.
Oh, my God. So the Eagles win it in overtime. 54-yard field goal by Jake Elliott.
When your quarterback is Sam Howell, look, Sam Howell's played a lot better this year. But when your quarterback is Sam Howell, and you get down there and you get a chance to go for 2, you got to go for it. You don't know what you're going to do in overtime. Don't play for the overtime, and all of a sudden overtime, you're going to keep that momentum going. You got to take the opportunity when it's there. You were right there. If they would have went for it and not gotten it, nobody would have had a problem around the country today. They'd be like, hey, look, man, they were there. They went for it. It was a great comeback. Hey, they just didn't get it to 2-point conversion. Now we're like, fire them.
Philly's right, man. Philly is right to lose games.
No doubt. No doubt. I cannot believe that Ron Rivera did not go for 2 to end that game yesterday. Not only that, but you're on the road against the team that was on the ropes themselves.
Yes.
Exactly.
You don't think they're tired?
Right. So that is crazy to me. And also, once you get the ball in overtime and you know that Philadelphia just has to kick a field goal to win, I'd have gone for it on 4th and 5.
Yeah. Well, Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin. I think that was a catch. I think that was a catch.
They cheated.
I think whatever was called on the field was going to be upheld.
Right. And he could have easily said he was inbounds because that was a hell of a catch. Anyway, Washington loses. Philadelphia wins. I was thinking yesterday, I'm like, man, we gave them big play Slay and DeAndre Swift. I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that. Okay, the Titans beat the Bengals, and they beat their ass, 27-3.
What a division that
Titans. A couple of touchdowns for Derrick Henry. He even threw for a touchdown. Listen, I told you this weeks ago. Joe Burrow is not finishing the season. Matter of fact, I don't know how much longer they can go with him. He is playing on one leg. One freaking leg.
This is my issue with Cincinnati, and Ryan, I agree with you. Zach Taylor should be fired. A lot of coaches should get fired, but we'll get back into that. When he first got drafted, what did they do? They did not get him offensive lineman. And what happened his first year? Led the league in sacks. What happened the year they go to the Super Bowl? He got obliterated that whole season in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl. Same thing last year, and now same thing this year. When your offensive line can't block for you, and because you have a calf injury, you can't get out the pocket, you stand in the pocket, you're just game. You're big game for these defensive ends. He's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get killed.
That AFC South division, all 4 teams are 2-2. It is going to be kind of a fun division, I think, to watch.
I'm pulling for the Texans.
If you look at the plus minus, the differential, point differential, there are 3 teams there. Indianapolis -2, Jaguars -2, Titans +2. I mean, you can't get any more close than that. Texans +17.
Yeah.
But you can't get any more close than that.
Yeah, it's a tight
I'm rooting
division.
for the Texans as well.
I'm rooting for the Texans as well.
I'm rooting for the
DeMeco
Titans.
Ryan.
I'm rooting for the Titans just because I said Titans prior to the
You
season.
did. You did. You had them in your playoffs.
Yeah.
By accident, I think.
No, I don't think so.
By the way, the Brandon Staley's, the Fighting Chargers of Brandon Staley.
What's he still doing?
They held on.
Fire him.
They held on to beat the Raiders 24-17. He went for it again, guys. It's like 4th and 1 from his own 20. Late in the game, he goes for it. The tush push doesn't work. It only works for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Raiders get the ball. They go down to the 5-yard line, and they couldn't get it in the end zone with Aiden O'Connell as quarterback.
Brandon Staley should be fired.
And the only reason he's not is because they don't have any real football fans out there in Los Angeles.
Absolutely. He needs to be fired, though. Like, this is egregious. He's always doing something to cost his team. If Justin Herbert wasn't that quarterback to make that beautiful throw to Palmer so they can get the first down and milk the clock out,
Yes.
why the hell was he telling Asante Samuel Jr. to get down? You're only up 7 points. He had a pick 6. It's 2 minutes left in the game and you've been up 14. Hello? It sounds like a win to me.
You know it's bad when the
He's
announcers,
horrible.
when the pregame, postgame guys are saying, "Oh yeah, that coach over there and with the Chargers, that coach over there with the Chargers." They don't even use his name.
When you lose a 27-point lead in the playoffs, I don't know how you're still a coach. I saw what was his name? What was Schottenheimer? I saw Marty Schottenheimer go 14-2 and get fired.
Oh my
You
God.
lose a 27-point lead in the playoffs, you gotta go, bro.
Hey, Cowboys all over the Patriots, 38-3. The defense scored what? 2 touchdowns at
Called
least,
it.
maybe 3. It's the worst loss, and let's put this up, JB. The worst loss in the Bill Belichick history of being a head coach. It's his worst loss ever. They had no answer, and I'll tell you, I was a Mac Jones supporter.
Told you.
He don't have it. He don't have it. I guess they got Bailey Zappi. The Zappi Hour, I guess, is next up. They don't really have anybody.
And that was the big thing with them. They don't have any explosive players. You cannot win like you used to win, Bill Belichick. You know why? Tom Brady's gone. That style of play isn't working that you used to do. You got to get yourself some explosive players, and you got to get yourself a quarterback that you trusted, man. Bill Belichick, how long before that hot seat heats up, Ryan?
I think it's hot. I think it is hot
scorching.
already. I think that I believe Belichick is 12 games under 500 without Tom Brady as quarterback.
I think it speaks for itself.
He started the
I
season
know he
off.
wants to go after that Don Shula record,
It's not
but he's probably going to have to do that somewhere else.
Or
You know?
Oh, I don't know about that. If he's out of New England, he's done.
I don't think so. He wants that record.
He's
back.
70-something years old.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
His
I know.
girlfriend broke
so
up
Dick
with him.
Vermeil.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, the 49ers, easy win over the Cardinals, 35-16. Cards were only down 21-16 in this game. They actually came back. But Christian McCaffrey, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 touchdowns. Brock Purdy gets 1 as well. That Brock Purdy just don't lose.
100%. We keep talking about it. Everybody tries to make it about how good that team is, how good the offense. Oh, they have Deebo Samuel. Oh, they have Trent Williams. Oh, they have Brandon Ayuk. Oh, they have CMC. There's a lot of good people, by the way. But he still has to win those games. You still got to go out there and do it. He hasn't lost a game, and he's had some of the best QBR in the last 2 years, or in the last, I think, calendar 12 games. So shout out to Brock Purdy and the 49ers, man. They're keeping it rolling.
And the finale last night, it was 17-0 Chiefs in the first quarter. I turned it off. I watched NFL Primetime on ESPN Plus. I put it back. Jets were in the game. They had a chance. Some egregious bad calls at the end of this game. Non-holding calls on Kansas City and holding calls against Sauce Gardner. It was disgusting. 23-20, Kansas City wins. And then to make it worse, Patrick Mahomes going in for a touchdown with a minute to go, no timeouts for the Jets. He slides down at the 2-yard line inbounds to not cover the spread if you had Kansas City. I was happy. I had the Jets.
Cost me a victory right there. Definitely cost me a victory right there. The Jets, man, look, shout out to Zach Wilson. And what happened in that after the post game? by Rodney Harrison, the comment he made. Chris Jones, he was
He
interviewing.
called him garbage.
And he doubled down on it. He said he's trash, he's garbage. When you're doing an interview, like if I'm on this show, I can say somebody's garbage. It is what it is. This is my opinion. But when you're doing a national broadcast,
Tough.
When you're doing a national broadcast and when they're a partner of the NFL,
Yeah.
Rodney Harrison, he might have lost his job.
Chris Jones didn't bite into it, though.
Yeah,
He's
Chris
smart
Jones
player.
is smart.
Smart player, and when you're a player on the field too, I think you understand what was going on.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson was playing pretty damn good last
It's
night.
his best game
and
ever.
why? The coaches allowed him to do what he does well.
Yeah. And
Get the ball.
He looked good.
Throw it. He looked
Like
like
an
you
NFL
could win
quarterback.
some games with him now.
He looked like he had confidence.
Now, everybody's talking about Aaron Rodgers coming back. Aaron Rodgers coming back. Aaron Rodgers ain't coming back. And
But he
just
did
say
show
for a
up,
fact,
which is nice.
What I'm saying is
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers ain't coming back if they're not in a playoff race. Can this guy keep them in a playoff race? And the answer to that, you might have gotten the answer to that. Yes, they played the Chiefs. Is one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NFL. You lost. You lost by 3 at home. You could win. You could stay around. You could stay alive a little bit. There's nobody in the AFC that's running away with things like we thought they would. 1-3, they're fine.
To me, they're in the same situation as the Broncos were in last year, but they got a better offensive system. You got Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, Zach Wilson's figuring it out. Remember last year, the Broncos, all they had to score was about 17, and they could have won 9 games last year. I think this is a similar situation. But it seems like the offense of the Jets could be a lot better than the Broncos were last year.
Are you guys sick of Taylor Swift?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about
You
it.
want me to put the stat up?
No, we'll go to a break right now, and then we'll come back and maybe think about it.
I'll put the stat up for you.
Give me the stats. But let me give you this stat. Do you know that your home is protected with Guardian Alarm? When the bad guys see this sign out in there, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
The number again, 1-800.
Stay
Call
out.
them today. Tom Woodward, Sports Central.
Stay out.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Hey gang, join Woodward Sports and Long Drink Sunday, October 8th for the official Lions VIP tailgate party, Eastern Market Shed 5. Gonna be a bash starting at 9:30 until game time. The official Lions tailgate is back and better than ever. How would you like to pregame it with Woodward Sports and be treated like a VIP? Food, beverages, entertainment, all included. Get your tickets online today at bullseyeeventgroup.com, bullseyeeventgroup.com, or you can win some from Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on IG and direct message Lions VIP.
Oh, Lions.
All right, Tom Mazaway, I will give you 60 seconds to do
Look,
this.
first of all, I want to throw up over it.
No.
I'm sick of it.
Sick of it.
I'm sick of it.
Well,
I don't
because
give
I'm
a
getting played. We're all getting played.
I don't care.
It's a plan.
I don't care. Anyway, Front Office Sports kept track of how many Taylor Swift cutaways, etc., there was on the broadcast. Let's put that up, JB. It's it's unheard of. If it's not her,
I couldn't watch the game last night because I was tired of seeing her. Like every other freaking play, they showing her face.
I do like the girl in the orange pants though. That was in the
drinking
booth
the
with
high
her.
noons.
Who was that?
Smart man.
She was drinking the high noons.
Yes. Who was that?
I don't
God.
know. But cutaways for Taylor Swift, 17. Commercials for her new movie, 2. Commercials with Travis Kelce, 3. Commercials with Patrick Mahomes, 2, and 1 with Andy Reid.
Now let me ask you another question. Same situation. Are we getting tired of the Chiefs?
Yeah.
And I'm starting to get tired of the Chiefs.
I was not actually. I was. This makes me tired of the Chiefs.
I'm Kelsey'd out.
And listen, at the end of the day, when you operate at the level that the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid they've been operating at, you deserve everything that comes with it. You deserve the commercial. You deserve Saturday Night Live. You deserve to date Taylor Swift. But I'm tired of it. I'm over it.
By the way, guys, Sam Laporta is not dating Margot Robbie. All right, he has a girlfriend. Is not dating Margot Robbie. All right, it's twice his age.
20 years older than him.
Not that matters, but he is not dating her. So don't listen to any of that crap.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a match.
So, but this Travis Kelce, I'm sick of him. I don't really like him.
Travis Kelce ain't my kind of guy.
Yeah, I don't like him.
You know,
he used to be.
Give me Jason Kelce.
He was cool.
Jason Kelce's my kind of guy.
He was cool, and then he cut his hair, and he went to that mustache, and I was like, oh, he started changing.
He's a punk.
He's done.
I think the NFL and Taylor Swift, this is bigger than just them dating. This is them growing their followers. They paid her $50 million easy.
I don't know if they did that. But I don't know.
I think she is smitten with him.
She's growing the NFL fan base with her fan base. NFL's making money off of it.
Yeah.
You could have something there.
You could.
Did you want me to continue to go? Or
I want to take a break. I want to get back on time.
All right. I got some other stuff
Chase
for you.
Claypool, is he going to be a Detroit Lion? Tom Mazaway wants to know. But
not
first, the message, he wants to eat a big boy from Big Boy.
Yeah, Chase Claypool loves big boys as well. Who wouldn't? It's the best cheeseburger in town, the pretzel bacon cheeseburger as well. And if you're digging chicken, you know what to go with. It's the Dolly chicken sandwich or Bob's hot chicken sandwich if you like your chicken spicy like George Costanzo. You can also upgrade those fries to chili cheese fries or the loaded baked potato fries and save room for dessert because you got the Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake and the funnel cake fries. You can also get yourself a vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry shake. I can go for one of those right now from Big Boy.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Good, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field, which can also be used for 7-on-7 football. Academy of Warren features kindergarten through 8th grade with AM and PM latchkey, smaller classroom sizes, a learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, and so much more. The Academy of Warren is now currently accepting new enrollments, so go and check them out online today at theacademyofwarren.net.
Bad. I gotta tell you guys. Do we have the Jimmy Butler haircut?
Yeah, man.
I can find it. Give me a second.
But in the meantime,
It doesn't even look like his hair.
I don't even know what to say about it.
It looks like a wig.
Tell me about Chase Claypool, Tom Mazaway.
I can. Well, this was Chase Claypool on Friday afternoon when they interviewed him. They're like, "Hey, Chase, are the Bears using you properly?" This is what he said.
I'm open. I'm always fucking open. Excuse my profanity. I'm sorry.
No.
And we apologize for the profanity as well.
Well, you can see Jamar Chase said he's always open. The problem is no one can throw him the ball. That's another game.
That's partly true.
But we're going to tell you a little bit about Chase Claypool, because on Friday they asked him, are the Bears using you properly?
I do not have a Chase Claypool video.
He shakes his head and he says, no, they are not. And guess what the Bears did? They
told him to stay home.
They didn't tell him to stay home. They redid that. They told him, you're a healthy scratch. He decided to stay home and not even show up for the game.
First 20 questions today to Matt Eberflus were about Chase Claypool.
They are now looking for a 5th or 6th round draft pick for a guy they gave up a number 1 draft pick for.
They're just going to have to cut him. Nobody's trading him anything.
Last year, you were excited when the Bears got him. I told you, I was like, he ain't it.
He quits.
Like, he ain't it. This guy right here,
what happened to him?
A 5th or a 6th, you're not getting anybody for a guy that doesn't want to play. Ryan, when you're in a healthy scratch, that means you still come to the game. That means you still travel with the team. That means you still go to the team meeting the night before the game at the hotel. You stay overnight at the hotel. You have curfew. You go through the same things as the players on your team. You're a team. You're not an individual of your own. Like, you're a part of the Chicago Bears. Him staying at home and then wearing that outfit, which is even worse, he's out.
Honestly, he's not that good to be a malcontent either.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
if you're gonna be a headache, you need D-hop skills or something.
Right. Or like Antonio Brown, really.
Yeah.
You got to be like Antonio Brown.
If you're going to be a malcontent, you mean?
Yeah. If you're going to be a malcontent, be as good as Antonio Brown.
That's right.
You know?
Make them where they have to put up with your BS because you're that good.
Right.
Hey, when we were doing the Chargers-Raiders game, I forgot to mention a little something. Khalil Mack had a career game. 6 sacks, 4 tackles, and I think he had a fumble recovery. 6 sacks, second best ever in NFL history for one game.
Unbelievable.
Against his
Good
old
for
team.
him.
I saw that.
He really wanted that one, huh?
Yep.
I was in a game where a guy had 6 sacks. Elvis Doomerville.
Yeah.
It was the craziest
Broncos?
thing. Broncos.
Yeah.
Craziest thing I ever saw. I was like, that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. 6 sacks. That's a lot of sacks.
And the Steelers I guess they're not very good.
Hey, Ryan, look.
Mike Tomlin.
I can't.
Tomlin.
I never even saw anything like this guy.
Who?
Look at this guy.
What
Jimmy
guy?
Butler.
Oh, you're showing Jimmy Butler's
Is this
hair?
WNBA or the NBA?
How can I bring up Steelers when Jimmy Butler's hair is up
I
there?
just wanted to show everybody
Lip
that.
ring, eye ring, and Gentry, you said those are actual real piercings?
Yeah, I saw some TikTok about it that he actually got them done or something.
Well, if it's on TikTok, for sure.
I mean,
it's crazy.
Well,
man.
it was a TikTok of a bunch of stuff. But
he
go
did
on, Maz.
He did the dreads last year.
I don't want to bring up your sources sometimes.
No, you don't want to do that.
He did the fake dreads last year. This year, hey, look, man. Everybody, to
each their own, man.
At the same time.
To each their own.
What's he going for? What look is he going for?
He's had an interesting upbringing. Like, I think this is part troll. Like Park and I talk. Shout out to Park. What's up, Park? It's part troll, but it's also part of who he is. Remember, he was homeless at one point. He was adopted at another point. So I just think he's got a lot of stuff in there. And he's trolls too.
He's a hell of a teammate.
He is.
Hell of a teammate.
But I couldn't show it with you looking like that. Too many jokes.
Getting back to the Steelers, Mike Tomlin was asked, "Hey man, are things are going to change after that 30-6 loss?" And he said, "Well, you know, you're damn right, it's going to change."
He's a guy that could be on the hot. I mean, I don't know. Is he on the
They don't
hot
fire
seat?
coaches, bro.
I know they don't fire coaches.
Yeah.
I guess they would trade T.J. Watt before they'd fire him.
No, what they would do is they had that conversation. Hey, look, you got 2 options. You can step away, or we can fire you.
Well, I mean, you could do. Look, Bill Cowher for the Steelers had about a 5-year period where he didn't do anything.
No, he won the Super Bowl and retired.
Well, I'm saying before he won the Super Bowl. Even.
Oh yeah, true.
And then he ultimately won the Super Bowl. You got Ben Roethlisberger and won the Super Bowl. Could there be a situation where, and I saw this floated around, somebody was saying that the Steelers should trade T.J. Watt another one of
Crazy.
another one of their players, and make
Cameron
sure.
Hayward?
No.
Minka Fitzpatrick?
No, it was an offensive player. Oh,
it was George Pickens.
It was T.J. Watt, Kenny Pickett, and somebody else.
It was George Pickens.
And George
Pickens,
Pickens.
Pickens.
And make sure you get the number 1 pick in the draft.
Because Kenny Pickett ain't it, but getting rid of T.J. Watt, maybe. They need to get rid of the offensive coordinator. Ryan Ermanni, they have about as many yards this season as the Detroit Lions have given up rushing yards. Matt Canada had 100. Well, he's not the quarterback, but he's the offensive coordinator. 110 yards is what Kenny Pickett had last game. They can't do anything. Why does Matt Canada still have a job?
Why does he have a job?
Mike Tomlin's in trouble, man.
Hey, you want to hear from the Juice?
Oh, man.
This is the Juice at the bar after Buffalo won yesterday. He's going to talk a little Bills with
Was
you.
it a Juice bar?
And some USC football. And, of course, listen to the people in the background yelling for him. The Juice is loose in Buffalo. I just want to tell you that.
I mean, they should probably bar him from NFL
Why?
game.
What trouble is he making? What trouble is he making?
I guess he's not making any trouble.
Not making any trouble.
Guess he's not making any trouble
it's a
for you.
clean life right now.
Well,
for
he
the
was
Juice.
acquitted.
He was.
He was acquitted.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Here's the Juice.
Here's the Juice.
That doesn't mean I ain't see it.
Hey, X-Well, it's yours truly at the airport. Get ready to head back home. But what a treat it was being here in Buffalo this week. Believe it or not, terrific restaurants, greatest people, having a little libration. Sorry, Dolphins. 70 against nobody. We got a Dolphin back here. Sorry, Dolphins. What a weekend thus far. What really happy with USC's win, but they won. I'm like I'm giving up that many points. But, hey, go Bills tonight, go Niners. God bless, guys. Take care.
He definitely did. But that's the one thing about fans, like especially football fans. Doesn't matter what you do. As long as you ball on that football field, they'll forgive you. They're like, he do that out here. Let's go, Buffalo.
Unbelievable. Guys, I got to take a break. When we come back, I want to get into Miguel Cabrera. We'll talk Tigers and, of course, the baseball postseason.
Michigan won.
Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Big Michigan day tomorrow. But, guys, let me tell you first about Fairway Packing Company. Hopefully you ate your steaks over the weekend. I know I did. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry aged beef. You can experience a Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks. Or if you can't make it in person, order online. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com.
Cut, age, pack, source, pack to perfection.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests, for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hey, everybody, I want to tell you about Les Stanford Buick GMC. That's right. That's what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years. You expand and offer more products to more people. Les Stanford Buick GMC, located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. They offer the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. If you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, check them out in Dearborn. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac on Michigan Avenue. You can find the brand you want. All GM brands under one umbrella. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new road.
What are you doing, Braylon Edwards?
I was trying to check out the mask, the ski mask deal for the Lions, the little villain action. If you would have told me, Ryan Ermanni, at some point that I wear a ski mask in Birmingham, I told you you're lying. I told you you're lying. This thing is uncomfortable.
Oh, man. I wore one when the C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I couldn't wear it for 5 minutes.
The holes on it were lopsided.
Yeah.
Like, looking like this.
Dang.
Yeah, it's tough.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to give a big shout-out to Miguel Cabrera and the Detroit Tigers. An incredible weekend at Comerica
Great
Park.
job.
And yesterday was spectacular. Everything was perfect that the Tigers did. Kudos to that organization as well. They do big stuff really well.
They did a great job. It all started with Miggy's kids going up to the booth for his first at-bat. Check it out.
We got to get you two on the same page, man.
24-hour mother, Miguel Cabrera.
I mean, he did
Nice
a
job.
really nice job, that son. I mean, it sounds like
He's got pipes.
Oh, man.
He's got pipes.
Really good.
He's got pipes.
Really
And later
good.
in the game, obviously, Miggy didn't have a great day at the bat. But you know what? They decided, hey, let him play first base for the last time. So what they did is they let him come on out on the field. We could roll that video and we could talk over it.
Yeah.
But he comes out on the field, guys, and you'll see it eventually. He's alone on the field, getting near his first base, and he hasn't picked up a glove, he said, since last year's spring training.
2021 was the last time
Yes.
he played a game in the field.
Isn't that something?
And the first pitch was a ground
And
ball
Dan
to Miggy.
Dickerson, he knocked it out of the park. Dan Dickerson
the
said
call.
the ball finds you. It was great. Phenomenal job by Dan. It was amazing. He got to play first base, and then they take him out. A.J. Hinch says, come on out and get that ovation that you deserve. And then after the game, all his teammates, of course, with the Gatorade bath. You'll see that as well as he's getting ready to go on Bally Sports. They did a great job. Really good.
He had his phone in his back pocket. That's what he was worried about.
So in the
Nah, these things
stands,
waterproof
man,
now.
in the stands, Comerica looked great.
Yeah.
Every seat had a card on it. So when you look at it, it says Gracias Miguel, Gracias Miggy in one section, 3,000 hits in another section. It really looked really great, the park, and great job, Tigers.
As a former pro athlete, just watching this, man, I can respect what this organization did for him. He meant a lot to this organization. He did a lot of great things here, and they repaid it in kind. That's how you're supposed to do it. Like the kids go to the booth, they gave him all the time, and hell, he even got to play at the end, man, to go out the right way. So shout out to the Detroit Tigers and shout out to me for a hell of a career.
Awesome stuff.
Hey, baseball playoffs start tomorrow. You got 4 wild card games. So get out your sheets. We're all going to get out our sheets, and we're going to pick the winners of each of these series. I'm going to go around the room. I'm going to start with you, Braylon.
Braves.
Toronto at Minnesota. Minnesota will be home for all 3 games if it goes 3 games. You got to win 2 out of 3.
Okay.
Who do you like, Toronto or Minnesota?
Toronto.
All right, Ryan, Toronto or Minnesota?
Toronto.
All right, we move down to Texas, who blew the AL
Tampa.
West. Texas at Tampa. Tampa gets all 3 at home.
Running out of show here. Tampa.
Me too. Tampa. Arizona at Milwaukee.
Brewers.
Me too. Brewers.
Yeah, Milwaukee.
Miami at Philly.
Miami.
Philly.
I got Philly.
Philly.
So let's say Philly against Atlanta.
Atlanta.
I say Miami over Atlanta.
And you think Miami will beat Atlanta?
That's my upset.
Well, you're out of your mind. Okay, we're not going to go to you anymore.
Sipping in that cup?
Milwaukee's going to L.A.
L.A.
I like them too, but it's close. The winner of Toronto and Minnesota goes against Houston. And the winner of Tampa, Texas, goes against the Orioles. My World Series is going to be a rematch from the COVID year that went 6 awesome games. I got Tampa Bay in an upset, but I got the Dodgers winning it all.
Dodgers, Braves, and you know me. Braves, baby.
I got Houston in the American League and going Miami in the National League.
All right. For Miggy.
Miami for Miggy. And for Rod Allen.
There you go. Rod the bod.
Brad, get us out of here.
I think I did it wrong. It's supposed to be Astros and the Atlanta Braves. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Tomorrow we'll talk more about Michigan, talk about the upset that was Iowa and Michigan.
You guys going to
State
apologize to me when Miami goes to the
Yes.
World Series? Okay,
I want to apologize to you now for JJ.
I apologize.
I want to apologize for JJ.
Do it tomorrow. We'll talk a lot of Michigan tomorrow.
I can't wait till tomorrow. Gentry, we appreciate you for tuning in, man. Tapping in with us. Thank you, sir. JB, all the hard work you putting in. We appreciate it. For my man, Uncle Maz, Ryan, Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, we are Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, and we'll see you tomorrow.